What's up, boys? Today we're going to be trying out a crazy 6-weapon recon scout. There's tons of different light weapons we can get here. We're going to be quite a bit slower and not be able to see as far, but we're also going onto the magma core so we can potentially stand on the magma and get the recon scout passive going for the extra movement speed and reload speeds. So there's actually, I think, 5 light projectile weapons we can get here. A few of them from the driller with like the experimental plasma charger and the Subata. I guess we won't be able to see the flowers from quite as far away, so we'll have to be very careful about those. 6 weapons. You get all of them by 25, so you get weapons even more often, it seems like, as well. They aren't like super late or anything.
You're cute.
It's going to be a lot harder to actually get the level 18 overclocks, I think, since there's going to be so many different choices available at each level up. See if we can get a quick trigger of the passive. Nope, no lucky dodges.
Just what the doctor.
I think we'll definitely want basically all of the weapons that have the sidearm overclock available. Stubby, that's very good. The one where you reduce that weapon's damage, but increase the damage of all of your other weapons. And then I guess global upgrades will also be a bit better. Ooh, big fire rates. I think we need to prioritize weapons if they're pretty close, just because it's going to be so hard to get all of the overclocks for that many different things. Ooh, weapon box, we could go 7 weapons. I'm down. Okay, we got the Thunderhead, and I guess we'll take a paint job for that. It's not very good for the build, but it's at least a projectile weapon, and it's a strong early game weapon, so it'll help me out at the most difficult points. Okay, the Subata and the Stun Sweeper, those are both very good. I think I want to get this and convert it to Acid, and then I think it also has the sidearm overclock available. Go away, I want my Nitra! Oh man, the artifacts that scale with weapon tags and overclocks are going to be absolutely insane here. The Zukov is better. I guess I'll take a blue. We definitely want to get the electric conversion on that because a lot of the matching weapons we're going to be able to get here are going to have similar tags to that. And it's just such a good carry weapon once you get the Death Spiral at level 18. Yeah, the Thunderhead does help out a lot here at least, when we would be kind of struggling with very tanky elites right now. I guess it wants me to go full Thunderheads. Man, I can't get any dodges, so kinetic, I think eventually this is going to be nearly useless. We'll convert that, and I think basically everything else will be something other than kinetic, so I'm going to go for the greed and pass on that for the ultimate build later on. Global damage. Huh, a purple without even trying. Fire rate is going to be extremely good. We can maybe do better with that, since that's probably like 40 something golds. And it might give us some cooler stuff as well. So the taser and the burst fire both work here. This is electrical and it has sidearm. This can only be converted to fire. I think it might have sidearm. Not positive on that. So I think we'll go taser first. Try to get the sidearm on that. Some nice early pickup. And I can't be too greedy here because we do have the movement debuff from the map.
You ugly son of a bitch!
Gather up your beard and get onto that drop pod. It's about to leave.
Yeehaw! This is it!
Stage 1 cleared. Be sure to spend your gold and nitro before the next stage.
Ooh, big XP. I'll definitely take some paint jobs, since that'll be some of the most efficient levels. Let's see what else we got. I guess I'll grab some good crit stuff. Mining, another paint job. We'll go for the big stats and then hopefully get an elemental conversion later on. I can grab both of those.
Load up and get going, miner. We have quotas to fulfill.
Man, 5 weapons on the second floor. That is crazy. And actually, we'll probably have all 7 by the time we finish here. So we can fit in the burst fire and the experimental plasma charger. That would be 2 light projectile weapons. The plasma charger doesn't work the best with fire rate because it's just a single shot, but we can get insane potential reload speed, which is fantastic on it. The mini-map is a lot more important for finding the stuff here. You can at least see the clusters of resources and stuff up there. Fire rates. Magnet, no way I'm gonna avoid that with all the pickup radius we've gotten already. Okay, so the stun sweeper, that's also something that I really want for the sidearm. So I guess ideally we would get that, and then probably the burst fire.
Time to bring the boomerang.
There's just so much utility available in the boomerang sidearm, XP collection, lots of debuffing. Can I see the stats for this run again? I think there was something, yeah, Sugar Rush. There's more red sugar that spawns here. So if we get the sugar artifact, you can also stack up a ton of HP with that. I kind of like the nitrous scanner to help us get more weapon levels in the shop. I have like 1 overclock out of the ones that I'm actually taking, other than that one, which starts with 1. Let's go with reload speed here. Reload into an overclock. I'm thinking the big piercing on that to massively improve the AoE damage of it. Put some damage onto this shellback early on so that he isn't an issue. Between these, I think I'm gonna go for the Thunderhead level if they're pretty close. And maybe you'll get the XP collection for the boomerang, but we already have several purples for that, so I think it's not a huge deal.
Bring it, Becker!
So we're looking for another light, probably projectile. Okay, the burst fire. I think that's the coolest for the builds.
One BRT for a dwarf like me.
Oh my god. A level 16 weapon when everything is 6 or lower. That's kind of silly.
If it looks good, it shoots better. Everyone knows that.
We can get the massive attack rate on that, and then it would shred the elites for us, and we'd probably be set for the early game. Even though it doesn't really fit the build that much. Damage and potency, that works on 3, and eventually 4, I hope, so that's decent. But this also works on 6 weapons. That's gotta be better, right?
Pretty sweet.
Big damage onto the Squada, our first overclock, so we'll go ahead and grab the sidearm for that, and hopefully the acid conversion later on. That'll be a lot of damage for everything between these two. I really like having some extra survivability on scouts, or on recon I mean, but I think we're gonna need the weapon levels, and another one, and a big fire rate there. Basically, the evasion passive gives you a ton of effective health, as long as you're not getting killed very quickly. So just rounding that out a bit with some HP and armor is pretty nice. I guess I'll grab a bit here. Like, we do need to be taking hits from some weak guys and the lava ground to be keeping the high value passive up as well. Potency reloads. I think we'll go here.
That's a no-brainer.
The bugs are getting worse. Move it.
So we have to run like right behind him and have our back facing him for the Supata. And then line up the thunderhead shots to try and maximize the damage. Let's get a little bit of armor to go with the HP.
I feel vitalized.
They're everywhere. Move out, miner. Get it over with.
Luck.
Now this is a rare treat.
The bugs are getting worse. Move it.
Big reloads.
Objective completed, miner. Get to the drop pod before it heads back to orbit.
Break the fight.
Decent damage. Try and make sure to not leave too much XP behind where we were killing everything there. Yeah, global damage is pretty good.
Gotta move on, miner. The drop pod will head out momentarily. Well done, miner. We knew we could trust you to go it alone.
Another damage level. Burst fire is still level 1. Paint
I always
job.
waste my money on cosmetics.
Let's see what else we
I'm
got
raring to try.
for
Let me try
those.
again.
Big movement. Do I want that? We'll have one reroll after that. I guess that's
I'm
fine.
gonna be the best survivor.
We can finish that off. Sure, that'll help a ton with elites with the massive fire rate there. Then we have one upgrade here, basically. I'll take a cheap damage, I think.
This one looks best.
Just try and be as efficient as possible with the nitra
Get going, miner.
and weapon
We have
levels.
quotas to fulfill.
I actually think we're gonna like it.
Objective completed. Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
You know, the Thunderhead is probably going to end up being the highest damage weapon here because we got the level 18 so early, and there's going to be so many of these sidearm overclocks here. It's going to be a long time before we get any of the other weapons with a very strong overclock like that going, I think. Potency.
The scout just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. Landing zone ready. Impact imminent.
Divers is pretty solid. I think I'm okay with that.
You don't see these every
Need
day.
all the nitra I can get. Damage.
Prepare to fight for your life. Big swarm is approaching.
I die a little inside every time I have to pick up. Eat blood! Take that!
Big pink job. Well, small one, I guess.
That will teach you!
Double shellback. Thunderhead should do a lot of work here if it actually aims correctly. Oops, that one didn't stop yet. Oh yeah, that guy's getting wrecked. That might actually be the best, but I want the overclocks.
Suck on this, you freaking
Would definitely help the most right now, but I think we're fine.
See you in hell!
Oh, he mined out the red sugar for me. How nice.
Alien scum! You ugly son of a bitch!
I think we'll check the overclock here. Okay, we got the acid. That's the best in slot as a sort of utility Subata. Acid plus sidearm. Tons of damage for all of your other weapons.
What I found!
I'll take a damage here again. Ooh, very nice reload speeds. Reload into an overclock.
This rare stuff.
We'll take the potency for more debuffing here.
Let's show them some pain! Let's show them some pain!
We still got a blue.
Get to the
I'm thinking nitra for weapon levels in the shop here.
Get enough of this rare stuff.
Pretty nice crit chance for 3, maybe 4. I think that's fine.
Something epic with this.
There's a worm inside my pod, what? What is this blasphemy?
That's one for the books. Taking you to stage 4, miner.
Paint jobs, we can get both of those. So we got the sidearm for that, nice. That's pretty good. I might want to hold a bit here in case we get something really fun. Big paint job I'll definitely take. And I think a big crit for everything is fantastic.
No way!
Then we need a bit more for the rerolls. Cheap reloads. And then we're almost out, so I'll grab some global damage and head on.
There's beasties to shoot, and
So we still have 2 weapons without a single overclock going.
Can't believe how green I was when I started.
But on the bright side, we have a ton of sidearms already. Reload for a lot. I think that's pretty nice since it also improves the debuffing for anything that can do it, either acid or electrical.
Your own fault for being full of shit. One down.
Yeah, if we can funnel them through a tight choke point like that, then the Thunderhead just melts everything.
Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
One down.
Big reload for almost everything.
Say hello to my little friend.
The surface is too packed for the supply pod to land. Please clear it.
Hello and goodbye.
I'd definitely like to have some more mining speed so we can always escape from stuff, and a bit more survivability just because it's so hard to see. But at the same time, we need so many weapon levels here for all the overclocks.
Supplies inbound.
Gold for more global upgrades. Chemist is not bad. Oh, this is only 5 levels, that's right. Okay, I guess we reroll to try and find the artifacts that scale with the number of weapons then. I'm so used to doing the 10 stage dives. Squinties, that might not be bad since crit stats will be a lot more limited here. I think that's pretty good.
Yoink.
We'll grab a fire rate tier, I think. Man, this would have been so fun on a 10 stage dive, I forgot.
Objective completed.
Go for damage here. Yeah, I guess we're not even going to come close to fully overclocking everything then.
You ugly son of a bitch.
Global damage.
Come and get me, you disgusting bug. Your history.
The bugs are growing stronger.
I guess we should try and make the end of the level last as long as possible so I can just get a ton of XP then. XP... We're almost on the final stage, may as well take the boomerang level, I suppose. That's almost level 18, and I think we will just try and maximize the overclocks now. See how far we can go on just the 5 stages.
Let's show them some pie. Never felt better. Alien, go.
Congratulations, Miner, on completing the 4 easy steps.
Decent reload into an overclock. No sidearm. Actually, I don't know if the boomerang still has that. We'll go with the knuckle grip, I think.
Overclock time, baby.
Really increase the AoE coverage of that. Take some cheap fire rates. Reload is fine.
Let's shake it up.
Cheap fire rates. See what else we got, I think. Weapon range, if I want to finish that. I think we'll look for some paint jobs, probably.
I'm feeling lucky.
There's one, and then we'll check the overclock here. Okay, no electrical even available. Do I want to go cold? Having some crowd control would probably help out quite a bit here.
Put a bit of extra kick in it.
Then we'll grab some
This will
movement.
help me work harder.
Only one way to rouse the dreadnought. Destroy its cocoons. Kill them all, Miner.
Feeling much better now. Loot lock down. Loot lock eliminated.
Man, only one of the weapons that I added in, other than the box, is close to 18. That is hard to level.
Supply pod ready for insertion. The drop point is too rocky, so please clear down.
Take that. That's all you got, you slippery shit.
We got a supply pod launch. Stand clear of the impact zone.
Potency. I'll definitely reroll that. Okay, we got the multi-tool. Wait, 11 stacks with 7 weapons? I've had more than that with, like, 5 weapons. I guess we'll still take it.
This is it. Suck on this, you freak of nature. Bring it, Becker! Shoot it in the face.
Alright, let's try and mine out all of the lava floor so we have plenty of areas to kite and keep the recon passive going.
Die, monster! Take that! Eat it! Take that!
We can finish that off and grab some chain lightning, I think.
My favorite type of clock. That's all you got, you slippery shit.
Ow, that was very far out of my vision with the reduced vision range. Let's turn numbers off so I can see a little bit clearer here.
Really much better now.
Alrighty, just did a charge. Let's see if we can get some good thunder headshots lined up here for a bit. I can't really see over there. That's not really a good place to run.
Take that!
A lot of detonators coming outside of vision. Very hard to see anything. Let's get some crit chance here. Really wish I had the level 18 Zukov, but it's just so hard to level everything here. We need a bit more on the melee guy. Alright, I think we're okay now.
It's a little extra special.
Well done, team. Immediate dreadnought threat eliminated. Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived.
Man, that would have been so cool if we could have gone 10 levels and gotten all the overclocks for these things. So final stats, we got up to 89% reload speeds, 85, 373 crit. That's about all I could do in that short time. Early weapon box into the Thunderhead actually carried me pretty hard there. Only weapon we had at 18 for most of the run. We got the taser at the very end. Multi-tool, not quite as good as I was hoping for, but we kept it pretty focused on like lights and electrical mainly. The icons are getting smaller with 7 weapons on there. So lots of stats, bit of cold for some freezing. We had potency. I think you can get sidearm there, but we didn't quite have enough levels. We got a sidearm and acid there, perfect for a supporting weapon. We got sidearm and some extra reload speed there, and then the eventual chain lightning. Knuckle grip for some extra AoE. I think you can also get sidearm there. So we could have had like 4 or 5 copies of that, but we only ended up with 2, I think it was. And then the Thunderhead to carry me from the very start with a weapon box, extra damage knockback, bunch of piercing, and a ton of fire rates. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.